for using Global Tel Link.
All right, thank you. Ready to continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aaron says, in response to one of Mom's questions, I won't take time to read all that, but Aaron says, good thinkers have made good representations of the truth over the years, which is why it's good to study religions. I think I would agree. I'm willing to study what anybody believes. When I study some religions and realize what they say, I say, excuse me, I don't think that's possible. For instance, that one religion teaches the sun goes down at night and sets in a pond of murky water. Okay, they are welcome to believe that. You can believe anything you want, but I don't think that is true, and I don't think that's logical. And so when I find a religion that teaches that, I think I'm likely to question everything they believe. Come on now. I have so far been unable to find a single mistake, scientifically, historically, or otherwise, in the Bible. If you can find one, please let me know. Secondly, I would point out, Aaron, Isaiah 1:18, God said, come now, let us reason together. God is very willing to have you examine anything, he said, under a microscope. Examine it, please do. Reason with God. Talk to him. If you find something incorrect in his word, then I'd like to see it, because I've been searching for 46 years, and I have been humbled and said, Lord, I'm sorry. This is your word judges me. I don't judge this book. So I can't find a mistake in any way, mathematically, historically, anyway. So please do study all the religions you want, and I think you'll come to the same conclusion millions of others have who've taken that route. God gave us his word as he's obligated to, and it is indeed in the Bible. Okay. You go on, this Imam says, anyone can understand the Christian message of creation and purpose and salvation. Aaron says, but it's not your own representation of the truth in its entirety. It's likely most of it, maybe none of it. Laziness or a busy life schedule can lead to filling the logic gaps with whatever the closest religion to your current set of beliefs says. That's correct, and good wisdom, Aaron. It is correct. We sometimes get too busy, and we end up believing what other people tell us to believe, and it's always wise to check. I'm still willing to go back and recheck. Does 2 plus 2 equal 4? At some point, of course, you have to say, okay, that's been settled. It's been well documented. There's no evidence that it's not true, so let's go on to something else rather than spend our whole life checking this out. Now, you as an engineering student are going to do many principles for engineering that you're going to just accept because they've been accepted and worked for years. No reason not to accept it, and you should. Okay, so yes, check anything out, but we do get too lazy. Mom says she agrees, and Aaron says, which is why I want to think about everything first. So that's wonderful, Aaron. Think about it, and I'll help you if you want. I'm a little older than you, and have thought about this kind of thing, and I love people who say, I want to check it for myself. What you have just exercised here is Acts chapter 17. The Berean Christians, the Bible says, they were more noble than those in Thessalonica, because they received the word, and then they said, we want to check this out. We're going to think about it and make sure. So yes, listen to what somebody says and think about it, and then question it. You got any questions that I can help with? Please don't hesitate. Mom says, I know you are busy and you are a deep thinker. Aaron responds, I don't want to sell myself to any religion, because there will be at least one fact about its million facts I do not agree with. Well, that's true. I think, though, that you need to be cautious, Aaron. You, as an engineering student especially, would understand there are many things we do not understand that we do simply take for granted. For instance, gravity. There isn't a human being on the planet that understands gravity. We know what it does, but we don't know what it is. We can measure the acceleration due to gravity at various altitudes. At sea level, it seems to be about...
This call is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
32 feet per second, or 9.8 meters per second, and it's different at higher elevations or lower elevations. But that's or even light. We don't know what light is. So here we have two simple things, gravity and light, that at some point you're going to say, okay, I don't completely understand this, but I'm going to use it anyway. Flip the switch and turn the light on. I need to see my homework. So there are surprising little things like that nobody's been able to solve. If you do, please let me know. You go on to say to your mom, let's see, religion is a collection of ideas from thinkers, but people think differently and disagree. That is correct. Many religions are indeed nothing but a collection of ideas. But again, I go back and say God, if he created, is responsible to tell us what he wants if he intends to judge us for anything. Now, if there's no judgment day, then just go enjoy life and, you'll be fine. When you die, that's it. You push up daisies. If there is more to life than that, then if there's a creator, he's responsible to tell us why and what, especially if he's going to judge us. It is not fair for them to pass a law in your town that says the speed limit is 50 on this road and not post a sign, and then stop you and give you a ticket when there's no sign posted. You say that's, and any court of law would say that's correct. It's not right. We can throw this case out. They didn't post the law. God is going to judge us, and he has posted clearly what he expects out of us. And it's very clear we've all fallen short, and nobody's going to pass the test. We've all sinned and come short of the glory of God. So God himself said, I'm not changing my law. I demand perfection. Nobody gets into heaven without absolute perfection. I refuse to change my laws. So what I'll do instead, I'll come down and become a man and do it right, and I'll take the punishment for those who do it wrong. I'll die, and if you'll accept my punishment, my death and blood will pay for your sins. Whoa, what a deal. So I am going to heaven, not at all because I'm good, but because I am forgiven based on what Jesus did on that cross. That's clearly what the Bible teaches, and that to me is the only logical way that anybody could go to heaven and live with a perfect God. He's not waiting on us to climb a ladder up to heaven. He came all the way down and said, I'll just do it all. Just believe me. You don't have to do nothing. Just believe me. Okay, Mom says, I don't believe in a religion anymore. I believe God communicated with his creation, and it's recorded in the Bible. Mom, I agree. She says, and Hovind can explain why the Bible is literally true. Well, Mom, I can do it on some things. It's an awful big book, and I certainly don't claim to be able to explain everything. I do believe it's literally true, and I think I could help in some of these areas. Mom says that's why he's in prison. Now that I would agree with too. I think this is a persecution. Certainly no crime against any laws that I'm aware of or anybody else can find. Mom says I know you don't have time to watch his seminars on YouTube, but I wish you would, because it's changed my thinking, my mind, and my motivations in life. Well, thank you, Mom. I'm glad that's the purpose of it all. Why don't you offer Aaron $500 to watch one? Or 1,000, or 10,000, or a million. At some point, he'll agree. And once he agrees, okay, I'll do it. Then you go back and renegotiate the price. Okay, son, how about $20? But everybody would agree. Just get him to do it. Aaron says, after I graduate, I may write a paper on my beliefs. I don't have time to think about it now. Aaron, you're talking to a guy who understands the word busy. I took a 20-hour load going to college.
This call is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
While I was working a full-time, 40-hour-a-week job, second shift at General Motors. So you try working 40 hours a week in the snow in Michigan in General Motors and taking a 20-hour load and sleeping 4 hours a night. And I did not get a straight A or straight B average. I graduated with honors. They said, Hovind, you should be honored that we're giving you this diploma. You made it. Okay, thank you. But so I understand busy, and so, but don't be cautious. You're not going to live forever. You could die tomorrow, so you may want to make a little time to think about some of these things. A couple more thoughts here. Mom says, would you at least consider a phone conversation with this amazing thinker? Well, if she's referring to me, woo, thank you, Mom. I don't know about that. I'm pretty much fourth grade level in my mentality, but I apologize for the cough. Anyway, Aaron, if you get time, I would be thrilled and honored to call you and answer any questions that I can. My family used to laugh at me because I had two phones, a regular phone and my cell phone. There's always one or the other up to my ear, which is why I had during my daughter's wedding, I had one of the guys in the sound booth call me and pretend like it was the Lord calling. So you might want to watch that video clip up on YouTube, wherever it is. My daughter's wedding when her first husband, and then he died later of cancer, sadly. But that was, I thought, funny. My wife, of course, was mad, and I slept on the couch for quite a while, actually. But she got over it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. So, yes, be honored to call. A couple more here. Aaron says, I would rather coherently write down my beliefs, i.e. rather than a phone call. Because you said they are scattered currently, and whatever I would be able to articulate now would not be as powerful until I sat down and compiled them. Aaron, I completely understand, and that is perfectly fine. I will definitely honor that request. I do much better when I can stop and think about things, too. That's very important. Mom says, understand, I can't put into words how this truth has changed my thinking, including my eternal salvation. And goes on and describes it. Thank you. Aaron says, it doesn't work that way. You don't just hear the truth. You consider the points other sources make. and see if you can come up with those on your own and modify your truth accordingly. Aaron, I agree pretty much with what you say. However, you're probably studying many things in engineering. I don't know what type of engineering you're in, whether it's mechanical or electrical or whatever. But there are a lot of things you just have to say, okay, this has been pretty well studied, like the density of different metals or the conductivity of different elements for conducting electricity. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. I mean, you can say, okay, let's build on what somebody else did. So don't waste all your time reinventing the wheel. Go ahead and drive your car. Okay, and Mom says after several more conversations, okay, good night. Guess that's all the evangelizing you can take from me for now. Love you, bye. And Aaron says, sounds fun, but probably something a year from now. Okay, Aaron, understand, count me in anytime you want help. I love doing this. I am totally convinced that God created the world. He did it in 6 days, which is the only thing that works logically. You know, you can't have plants on the earth using up the CO2 from millions of years before there are animals to reciprocate the gases. You can't have plants from day 3 for millions of years before there's a sun from day 4. So a literal six-day creation is the only thing that works because there are so many millions of symbiotic relationships, either in food chain or in gases exchange, or we can talk about that one if you'd like me to call. Anyway, thank you so much, Aaron. I will certainly pray for you. Don't wait too long. You will die one day. And you will be dead a whole lot longer than you will be alive, so don't miss that boat, whatever you do, with all your logic. Thank you so much. Okay, number 14 is to Rusty and Kelly. Rusty and Kelly sent me a postcard, and they have written many, many times during my imprisonment, and it's been such a great blessing. I probably have a dozen people that write me on a regular basis, like every couple of weeks. I can count on getting a letter saying, Brother Hovind, we're praying for you. And I just want to say to Rusty and Kelly, thank you. You have been a blessing to me. I'm sorry I cannot always answer your letters and cards. I'm only allowed to buy 8 envelopes a week here, so I have to swap them off the other guys. Why they would limit such a thing is beyond my comprehension. I can buy 40 stamps, but only 8 envelopes. Well, that's brilliant thinking on somebody's part. When I was in the feds, I could only buy 20 stamps a week. Well, I get 20 letters a day, so that makes it a little tough. But anyway, I will answer as often as I can, so thank you so much. If I don't respond to some of you regular writers, please understand. I would love to, but I can't. I'm trying. Okay, thank you so much, Aaron, for your work in posting all this. Excuse me, if I can help in any way. And I'm sorry for dumping this off on you. I normally do all my own mail. I've answered over 17,000 letters since I've been in prison. I'm trying to keep up. And I want to make it clear that I want printed on my tombstone. I tried to get it all done. Just have that put on my tombstone. I'm trying. Thank you so much. What a blessing. All right. Okay, end of interview for the letters. Any other things you have there, Aaron?
No, that's all I've got for you tonight, Pastor. We really appreciate your answering all those letters in such great detail.
Great. I may have 4 or 5 more later, maybe over the weekend. I'll get some more mail tomorrow, and we'll do this again. I'll just probably number starting from 15 and go on.
Okay.
So whenever you get time, let them know, hey, your answer's up on this. And you can go ahead and post the answers. They're not going to know theirs is up there yet, but then notify them just whenever you get time.
Yeah, I can call 2 of them that I know of right away, and
You have 60 seconds remaining.
the other 14 that I'll write out tonight.
Sounds good. You're a blessing. Thank you, ma'am. Tell your husband you need a raise, okay?
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. Take care. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.